Okay, so 我们现在来讲关于到的是我们的 alcohol 的部分 in chemistry. It's going to be a short topic. Okay, so we will be in two different cases or two different sections. Okay, so we'll talk about the introduction of alcohol, which is similar to 我们其他的 organic chemistry, and the reaction of the alcohol for this video. And the next video will be the oxidization, which may even be an experiment video. So alcohol 本身它永远都是 follow 着我们的 formula CnH2n plus 1. Okay, but there's an extra thing at the back, which is what we call OH. Okay, so anything, okay, with alcohol we must have OL at the back. Okay, if there are two of the alcohols, then we'll call it as DIOL. Okay, so you can see from here, you can skim through it. So that's the table of all kinds. So for example, 我们原本是 methane 的 ，OK， 原本是 methane 的，然后我们就最后变成了methanol、ethene 的 ethanol 这个样等等。Right. So alcohols are classified as primary, secondary, and tertiary. It depends on the carbon too. So basically, 我们隔壁有多少个 carbon， 我们就we will say as how many of what kind of like classification for the alcohols. For example, 我的 alcohol 隔壁的 carbon 它只有一个 carbon. Okay, so then it will be a primary. But for this one, 我的 alcohol 这一个的 carbon 有多少个？一个、两个 so they'll be secondary. And again, if you look here, 一个、两个、三个 so they'll be tertiary. Alright, it's similar as what we had done before. But here's the more interesting part, where we will talk about the alcohols that is reacting with the oxygen. Now, when it comes to a complete combustion, okay, it's only for complete combustion, then we will have alcohol plus oxygen that becomes carbon dioxide plus water only. Okay, 所以如果你想一想，如果我把那个酒和 oxygen 两个混合在一起 ignite 它，我给它完全去烧完的话 it will become a carbon dioxide while it's bursting out, and at the same time it will leave out with some water. Now, there we will review through incomplete combustion, okay, but it's not in this case, but it's actually resulting into carbon monoxide. Okay, it's not in this case. We will look through it in the future. So that's pretty much the general form. You will have alcohol with the oxygen. It will always be a carbon dioxide and water. But mixing with the halogenal alkanes, it is still possible. As in, 我们可以把它的 alcohol 我们转去我们的 halogenal alkanes. Right. So how do we do that? It's actually by replacing the OH with a halogen. That's it. So let's have a look. 我们这里有一个 equation, okay? That's actually phosphoryl chloride. And 我们有 mix up with 我们的 hydrogen chloride. Actually, no, it's not. My mistake. It should be phosphorus chloride over here. So that's PCl5. Okay, 那我们去把它加进去我们的 alcohol. So the alcohol is going to be this part. So you can see that's where the OH is happening. Okay, 那我们把它加进 phosphorus 的 chloride 里面 what have you noticed to the alcohol? It has become 我们的 Cl rather than OH. So it has changed. Okay, but interestingly, okay, 我们在这里我们还是会有，因为我们 break down 了它的那个东西，它的那个 bond 之后 it will mix up with other of the elements, so that also results into 我们的 hydrochloric gas, okay, which can be harmful, okay, depending on like how much you are smelling on it, but yes, okay, but you just have to be careful in real life. Okay, so that means 我们的 OH, the H, it will combine with one of the Cl, and then after that it will just combine with the remaining of the phosphorus chloride. In short, 有一个 Cl 出来，有另外一个 Cl 出来，左边和右边，一个 Cl attached to the alcohol that becomes halogenal alkane， 然后另外一个 will attach with the OH 的 H。 Alright, so that's pretty much what happens. So that's another example, but this one is a bit more interesting. Okay, 因为我们这里it doesn't have any of the hydrochloric acid. Okay, so one key note: chlorinization of the tertiary alcohols can be carried out in different ways by shaking. But okay, 如果它是 primary or secondary alcohol, it does not. Okay, that would be a different case. So that only mixing in different ways, only possible way is for the tertiary of the alcohol. That's what we have to remember. That's the reason why a lot of people hate organic chemistry, because you have so many things to remember. But anyways, let's go to bromination. Okay, just using, instead of using chloride, we use bromide. So, okay, so in this case, we'll see about the equation at the bottom. So not surprised, 我们这里 the reaction is actually carried out in the reactant first reacting with the hydrogen bromide, or to form the hydrogen bromide potassium sulfate. Okay, so that's the really first step. Okay, so this is more complicated, as in 它要先去把它的那一个potassium bromide， 因为一开始它其实是给我们的 potassium bromide 的，我们要把它的 potassium bromide 加进去了这个 sulfuric acid 之后，它才可以变成我们的 hydrogen bromide 和 potassium sulfate。 And using 我们的那个 hydrogen bromide, which will be combined with 我们的 alcohol. Okay, so that will result into 我们这里变成 halogenal alkane, and the remaining is just going to be a water. Right, and the last one, which I think it's not the last one, I mean technically the last one, but we've got iodinization. Okay, so using iodine, similar to bromination, you do need to do something first. So what will happen is we'll make a phosphorus iodide by mixing phosphorus and 我们的 iodine. 然后 using this phosphorus iodide, 我们可以把它的 I 和 OH 两个互相交换，然后剩下的就变成了 H3PO3. So again, the way that I always remember is that chlorination is actually more extra, 因为它最后面的时候它会变成一个 HCl 出来。But other ones, they just have water or 我们的 iodinization. Right, now quickly at this part, 我们的这个 last part, which is about dehydration, which is losing of the water. Okay, so 我们的那个 alcohol 如果没有 water 的话，会发生什么事情？ It will become 我们的 alkene. Okay, because you're getting rid of H2O. So hence 我们从这里看到的 is something that it's rarely seen because of 我们的chemistry 里面我们一直用 arrow. Okay, but this is not asking as equal. This is actually a double bonding. Okay, so please do not misconcept between equal and double bonding. In this case, 我们只要把它 dehydrate, 你会发现到我们把我们的 H2O 带出来了， and 剩下的就是我们的 CH2 double bonding CH2. So that is the part where it's gonna be 我们的 alkenes. That's how it works. Okay, so in short, the introduction and the reaction has been finished, and you will see about oxidization of the alcohols in the next video.